Welcome to the Zen AF Hustle Podcast. I'm your host, Julia Garcia Devaney. I'm a life and mindset coach for female founders, and my mission is to help thousands of ambitious, busy women become the number one asset in their life and business. Tune in as I share with you the behind the scenes of my own ambitious journey and help you bring the Zen back into your hustle so you can create the impact you desire and truly love your own ambitious journey as well. Welcome, and let's get into the episode. Hey, my ambitious babes. How are you guys doing? How are you feeling? Breaking you this a week in advance. Listen, no baby yet, but by this time next week, if I don't have a baby, I don't know. The last thing I want, honestly, is to be induced because I didn't have a great experience the first time being induced. So please, you guys, send me all the vibes, send me all the techniques. I'm willing to really try anything, and I've tried almost everything at this point. I was hoping this full moon tonight actually would be on my side. The cosmos would be on my side, and I could go into labor, but we're still here. It's like I've been trusting the timing on things so much during this whole process because I've obviously been also working on my planner and having to really trust the timing on that. So, being pregnant has really helped me kind of in this whole production stage and, the whole thing, and just trusting timing and just trusting that things are working towards me and for me and all the things. But I have to say, when it gets towards the end, the anticipation is insane. Like, I can't say I'm crazy uncomfortable and super over it. I mean, there are moments where I am, and it mostly comes from the fact that I can't, have the same energy that I usually have to be there for my daughters and stuff and play with them and do all those things. So there's just a little bit of that I'm navigating still. But nonetheless, I'm excited, I'm ready, and I'm also trying to trust the timing of everything. Speaking of timing of everything, I literally just got my tracking number for my sample for my Zen AF Wellness Planner. I cannot believe it. I will for sure have that in my hands by the time you guys are listening to this. So, I'm really excited about it. I've already seen videos of it and pictures of it. There's a few things that are still not ready with it just yet and need some final kind of things. So hopefully that whole process will be done soon. And at this point, it's just pushing back that launch date more and more. The more I have to kind of wait. So I'm looking now at the end of January, maybe hopefully February launch date. So stay tuned for that. Obviously, you guys can get on the wait list in my link in the show notes and be the first to know all the ins and outs and discount codes and all the good stuff. So check that out. And yes, and speaking of this project, and I've been sharing this journey with you guys. I've been sharing the progress and the setbacks and everything like that. And so I started thinking about kind of how to navigate being a multi-passionate person for this episode, because it has a lot to do with different ideas and when to share them and when to take action on them and things like that. I feel like all of that kind of coincides with being a very multi-passionate person, which is who I come across quite often in my work with my students and my clients. And I think it just comes because, as women, we are multi-passionate for the most part. And that's because we have this diffuse awareness about us where we can be multitasking is actually could be one of our superpowers. It could also be our downfall if we have not honed the skill well enough. But again, that's kind of a different, I would say that it would be a different episode. So today I kind of wanted to just talk about being a multi-passionate person and also navigating that and when to share, when to take action, when to do those things. I cannot say that I've completely mastered this, but I feel like I have really conceptualized a lot of it. And it's taken me like a lot of trial and error kind of to really understand like and be honest about like the things that I focused on and so on and so forth. And whether it's served me or it's hurt me and things like that. So hopefully that my journey can help you guys on your journey and avoiding some of the things that I've done and maybe taking some nuggets of what's worked for me. The first thing that I realized, which was like a huge aha moment for me, is when I started studying human design, which again is like something I feel like I dabble in it. I mean, I've done a lot with it, but I would have to sit with somebody's like chart and really be thorough with it, because right now I've only mostly studied mine because again it's such a robust subject. But what I realize is that in having these open like head and Ajna, like all these like open channels like towards the top of my chart, I realized like why I get so many ideas, and they're amazing. And like for a long time, like I would just like want to take action on every single one of them. Every single one of them would be my idea. And like I would go and like get the, Instagram handle, and I would go and like, pick out the colors. I would like take action on them. And still until like one day, like I learned that like having these open centers allows me to just receive so many ideas that I had to start being a lot more discerning of whether like, is this mine or is this somebody else's, And what was great about like being a coach and being a coach is that like now I can actually just have those ideas and share them with the people that they are kind of meant for, and like serve as a channel essentially. And like I don't know, that's turned out to be like a very mutually beneficial thing, because I don't have to like keep these amazing great ideas in and just like throw them out. Now I can like actually share them with people that I believe that they are meant for. But that would be the first thing, is like I realized like, oh, not every idea is necessarily for me, and not every idea is meant to be taken into account, like where it's like I gotta go take action on it right away. So really having that discernment and understanding if an idea is authentically mine, aligned with like what I'm doing or not, has been very, very useful and valuable and important for me to be able to do. So that would be literally the first thing, is like maybe check out your chart if you also have those open centers. Understand that you will likely get a lot of ideas, but not every single one of them is necessarily meant to be for you or to be taken action on. And it would be amazing to understand what your desires are authentically, and to see and cross-reference if that idea is yours or not. And finally, when it comes to when you've decided basically that these ideas are yours, it really like focus is going to be key, whether you are a multi-passionate, multitasking, diffuse awareness person. Your like focus is still going to be very, very, very important and key to success, right? To success in that thing, to success in like following through and stuff like that, right? So there, even if you're not the kind of person who follows through on every idea, there's still the ability to like hire somebody to follow through on your idea, right? There's still the ability to practice that discipline and following through with that idea. There's still the ability to really tune in and see if this was just like the start of an idea, and then that it evolves into something else, or you pivot into something else. There's a few different ways that you can still follow through on whatever it is that you've decided to follow through on, or decided that is yours to follow through on. But focus cannot be ignored. It is a requirement, I believe, in success of that idea. And unless two ideas are like, actually can be worked on simultaneously, then, that focus and discipline is going to be very essential, right? And the way you know that if they can be worked on simultaneously is like, for instance, right now, how there's a lot that I'm waiting for in terms of like other people doing, their part of the project. So I could easily be working on something else, right? Like a different type of project that is not competing or whatever. Because ultimately we all have like a kind of a finite, energy. We kind of all have a finite use of like concentration and creativity and like whatever to dedicate to certain things before we kind of like burn out, right? So like we want to obviously avoid the burnout. And the way we can do that is by really like understanding what we're working on at any given moment. So the key is focus. It's always great to focus on one thing, one project, one business, one product, one thing at a time, unless it is actually, you're actually able to kind of simultaneously do various things that don't compete with each other, right? Like, I can still work on my product while I do some of my services. It's helpful to like earn that income and, work on something else. But I'm learning so much in this product based business that if I was like also learning so much in a different business, or a different product or a different service or whatever, like that would be a little bit competing because, and it would essentially, put me at risk of burning out, right? So we want to just understand which of our energy we are using at any given moment and make sure that we are not competing for that energy. We are not competing for that concentration. We are not competing for that discipline. We are not competing for that follow through. And, this is how you could kind of understand which projects you can take on at which times. And again, this sometimes it just requires you to start. I don't know if you guys know that analogy of like spinning plates, right? Like when you like go to a circus and like they have like those clowns or whatever that are like spinning plates, and or not even clowns, that at this point there's some acrobats and like whatever. They spin plates, and that plate needs momentum to start spinning, and then they go off and start spinning the next one. So once a project can, kind of sustain itself and is like, that spinning plate already, then you can potentially try to start the next project and start spinning that project. But again, you want to just be really discerning, really honest with yourself in terms of what is competing within itself, and then also like what works, right? Do your best to try not to compete with yourself and avoid that burnout. And this is how you can kind of work on a couple of things at one time. It's either by, spinning one, like making sure one has proper momentum before you start on the next project, or making sure that you can work on them simultaneously and you're not using the same kind of energy for each project. So there's that spinning plate analogy. And I also created another analogy. It's like a cooking analogy that this is like personally what I use because I get so many ideas and so many things that I want to like do and work on and take action on all at the same time. So for me, I use this like cooking idea, right? Where something can be marinating, something can be cooking, something can be simmering, and something can be on the complete back burner. Like stove's not even on, but it's back there, it's back there. So marinating for me is like the marinating of ideas, right? Like I am actually thinking about them. As you guys know, like even like these last couple of episodes, you guys have heard me think like, okay, like there's this other product that I want to work on, and I'm developing concepts. I've been developing concepts for it for a couple years now, or what have you, right? Those are like really marinating because I am like developing the ideas in my mind, actively writing them down, like, different concepts, things like that. Like it's in my brain. It is juicy. It is marinating, right? It is happening, but it's not ready yet, right? So for me, that would be like upcoming products for the brand that I am currently creating and building, right? Kids NAF. So right now and so the next thing is cooking, right? That would be like my current products. So the current product that I'm cooking is my Zen AF Wellness Planner. I mean, like that is hot on the grill. Like I am, paying attention to it, making sure it doesn't burn, all the things. It's also um my Get Zen AF app. Like it's there, it's cooking. Like I'm still developing certain things about it. But it is like something that I'm actively working on, not necessarily like marinating or anything like that. Like it's just a matter of like time, basically, right? Of working on different things in regards to the tools that I'm adding into it, the course that I'm working on in there. So I would say that those are the things that I'm currently doing. It's like I'm currently cooking those products. I'm currently having like those, cooking certain offers and marketing and things like that. Then it is simmering. The things that are simmering for me are mostly my coaching services because they have been established for some time already. I know what I offer. It's just a matter of, basically, I'm on maternity leave right now, but they are there. They are simmering. They are active, but also right now a little inactive. But I know what I offer, and I know it's just about basically like having clients to put into those offers, basically. But I know what they are. I know what I'm doing. Like I'm not learning anything. They're kind of like or I'm not like actively learning anything. They are like on a simmer. They are, there, right? Like they are just building and getting more juices, I guess you could say. But they don't require me to like learn anything new necessarily. I'm always learning, right? But with this, it's not something that I'm like, racking my brain about or something like that. I'm not going through coach certification. I'm not, stressed about what to offer or like who it's for, anything like that. Like they are on a simmer. And then the next thing would be like things that are on the back burner. These are like ideas that I definitely want to do at some point in my life, but I absolutely know that they are not ideas for right now. So, like writing a book, or like a series of books, really. Like, I have like ideas for like a series of books that is completely on the back burner at the moment. Like, I know that that's not my moment, like, it's not the moment now to, to basically like invest any time into. Like when I have ideas, I definitely jot them down so I don't forget them. But for the most part, these are things that are like, okay, I'm definitely going to do this in the future, but I know in my heart that the timing is not at this very moment. Those ideas are for me, they're authentic to me, but they are also kind of on the back burner. So, given that, focus is key, you want to really be honest in terms of what stage your ideas are at in this cooking analogy. Are they marinating? Are they cooking? Are they simmering? Or are they completely on the back burner? And that's how you can hopefully avoid any negative mindset pitfalls along the way, where it's like you are, again, stretching your energy, stretching your focus, and, ultimately not completing anything that you have, going on right now. You want to make sure that progress is top of mind, that you are actually checking things off the list, that you are moving forward. Because if you don't, then that will start also like, affecting you negatively. Like you need those wins, you need those stepping stones, you need to be reaching milestones in order to keep going. Because like when you're kind of all over the place and nothing is getting done, then again, like that's when you fall into those mindset pitfalls. And finally, you want to understand like when to share these ideas, like in terms of like what stage. And for the most part, like if I could tell you like in a nutshell when to share ideas, it's essentially like when you're ready to execute and no opinion can deter you from taking action. That's really when you want to be able to share. As much as I know this, like I kind of, I guess, made the mistake recently of telling a couple of people or friends really of a certain idea. And, I'm pregnant right now. Like there's not, much that I can execute on. And so I knew that, but like I honestly, I thought it was, I just didn't think that I had to like worry about, that I was sharing this was like the wrong person. But ultimately what happened is like they literally took my idea, my concept, my location, all sorts of things, and went ahead and did it without me. And to be honest, like it was extremely hurtful. And because again, like I can't execute on it. And I just thought like I didn't have to worry about sharing my idea and my concept with them. And again, like I even like had to ask my husband because, I'm a very like hormonal at this moment. Like it's not, the easiest thing to trust my own emotions. But as soon as he like confirmed with me, like, listen, like this is something that you shared, like your exact concept that you shared with them, and like they went and ran off with it without you, like you definitely had a reason to at least like bring it up. Then I felt like, okay, cool, like I could like actually like, say something about it, which I did, which took a lot out of me to, be confronting about it and kind of hold to my own truth about it. And, part of me was like, listen, like ideas again are just ideas, and like it's execution that can, that really matters. And that's why I say, and that's why I gave you that definition of like when to share your ideas. It's only when you can execute, because again, ideas mean really nothing. It's the execution that makes the difference. And so, so this is why I share that kind of with you, because it was a hurtful thing that happened. And I would love for you to avoid that. And the other thing that could happen is not only that people can like run off with your ideas essentially, but also like sometimes they have opinions that will deter you from taking those actions if you have not built up enough kind of belief within yourself and enough confidence within yourself, and you share it too soon. Then that can also affect you negatively as well. So I don't know if like any of that has ever happened to me necessarily. This other example was quite recent. That's why like I can like speak on it. But that is very able to happen, right? Where you like have this great idea, you share it too soon, and then people with all their, good-willedness, right? They have no sometimes people have no choice but to kind of give you advice from their own lens, so and their own fears and their own filters essentially. So you want to really try to understand and avoid that, by really understanding again like what it is that you want to create, what it is that you want to do, your ideas that you have that are for you, and only share them again when you're ready to execute and you're able to execute. And number two, when no opinions are going to deter you, right? Even if somebody says like that's a stupid idea, or like you can't do that, you're like, no, you're wrong. You want to make sure that you're able to stand on business, right? So be honest where you are in these stages of cooking, cooking up your ideas essentially, right? If you are just in the, marinating stage and things like that, then, or even the back burner stage, I don't suggest that you share your ideas just yet. I suggest that you work on them for you. Until you're ready to execute, or until you know that you can really be confident in what you want to develop and create in this world. I want to leave this to say that you can be successful even as a multi-passionate person, and it's by avoiding some of these things, right? By avoiding it, it's that focus piece that is, I think, the really, really the key. That the people that have created amazing things, multi-passionate things, that are able to do so many different projects and whatnot, they still had the ability to focus. Okay, like there's this woman, the woman that created, I think Nyx, the panties or whatever. I mean, she has like period panties. She has a pizza place, and she has some other thing that starts with a P. Oh yeah, like a bidet, like a squatty potty thing. I don't know what. It's like the most randomest like products, right? That they don't even like coincide together, right? Which I guess is like another thing is like if you are multi-passionate and you can have them all kind of have the same client base, the same audience, like that obviously helps quite a bit. But this very amazing CEO woman, has very different industries and has made it work. But I've listened to so many of her interviews and things like that, and she very much focused on one company at a time, and until that company had another CEO and like it had proper plate spinning, she didn't divert her focus, right? So focus is absolutely key. You can absolutely be successful as a multi-passionate person. You can be in different industries. You can have different projects. You can have different products. You can have different services. You can do really whatever it is that you want to do, but focus is always going to be key. Like there's no really way around that, right? You can't really just like be nowhere and everywhere at the same time. Like there has to be some kind of focus of your energy, of your time, of your commitment in order to kind of follow through and see through to the creation phase, right? To like that end phase where it's like, yes, this is in my hands, or I've created this is done, or evolving, or what have you. And you can either pass along the plate or keep going. It's totally up to you, but it is absolutely possible and doable. There's just that focus piece that is super, super required. And then obviously a little bit of honesty of what stage of the phase you're in terms of this idea. And if it's authentic to you, then go for it. If it's not for you, then you can always give it away. And remember that other people can have the same ideas as you, or they can take your ideas and run with it. It doesn't really matter. It's all about the execution. It's all about the follow through. That's why focus is so key and so important. So don't share your ideas unless you're ready to execute. And also make sure that you are also, in a very solid mindset of confidence and assurance and self-validation within yourself. But yeah, I hope that this helps in terms of being a multi-passionate person and really navigating that kind of side of you. I know so many women that have this side, again, for the reasons that I mentioned before, and they don't really know what to do. And again, like I want to help you avoid some of those mindset pitfalls of feeling like, oh, I never finish anything, or I never get anything done, and like whatever. Like it's all about a little bit of harnessing a little bit of that focus, and hopefully these tips will help you do that, right? And sometimes you do have to develop a little bit of discipline, but that's totally in your ability and control, and you could do this, ambitious babe. I believe in you. I love you, and I'll talk to you soon. And hopefully you'll have a baby by this time that you're listening to this. And follow me at Julia Garcia Devaney, and let me know if you have any favorite takeaways or if this helped. I love to hear from you. All right, bye.
Thanks for listening, Ambitious Babe. If you loved this episode, take a screenshot and share your favorite takeaways with me at Julia Garcia Devaney, and be sure to leave us a review, as that would mean so much. And if you're ready to put the Zen back into your hustle and love your ambitious journey, be sure to download the Get Zen AF app, where you'll learn to prioritize yourself and truly become the #1 asset in your life and business. It's available in the App Store and Google Play. Check out the links in the show notes, and I'll see you inside.